It's Thursday, July 12th, 2012. I'm Alex Jones, and this is another original edition of INFOWARS Nightly News.
Tonight,
we had an epidemic of children going blind. It would be all over the news. There'd be research, there'd be studies, there'd been foundations, there'd be all these things trying to figure out why these kids went blind. The answer would not be let's just raise more seeing eye dogs.
Alex Jones speaks with leading vaccine researcher Sherry Tenpenny. Plus, the TSA can now surveil you right down to your molecular level. Then, George Bush pushes the globalist takeover initiative in Africa under the guise of humanitarianism. All that and more on the INFOWARS Nightly News.
First off tonight, there are hundreds and hundreds of deaths taking place every month in the state of Illinois, and 275 since the year has started. And the mafia government, who's completely banned the Second Amendment, cannot blame it on unlawful ownership of guns because the criminals are ignoring the law. But what is the Chicago mafia's answer that runs Chicago? Well, try to restrict the Second Amendment around the rest of the country. Chicago police sergeant calls it tribal warfare on the streets as things continue to unravel there. All right, continuing on to the next piece of news. Courts have ruled, federal and state, that police can torture you to make you give a urine sample or answer questions. I always thought we had a Fifth Amendment. But a man who was walking across the street, they wanted his ID, failure to ID, the courts have ruled you cannot be forced to show an ID, papers please, but it didn't matter. They began tasering him repeatedly, and the police, instead of apologizing about this, said they're going to use it as a training video. A Florida man was repeatedly tased by police officers and arrested for refusing to identify himself. But instead of apologizing, the Castleberry Police Department insisted it would use footage of the incident for training purposes. And there is the footage of that taking place. All right, continuing here on to the next piece of news. You've seen all over the television George W. Bush, who says he ordered torture and he'd do it again, including of children, hugging little African children who are crying as they realize they're being put into the arms of El Diablo. And, Bush now is really there touring Africa to support a AFRICOM invasion by NATO and U.S. forces to take over the property as the UN, on record, I'm not joking, look it up, lines up villagers and machine guns them, blowing their little heads off to take over the property, all in the name of stopping Coney in countries thousands of miles away who hadn't been seen in almost 6 years. Moving along here, former FBI Director Free on the surface has done the right thing. I'm shocked, but I guess they're so exposed on this that they've got to go ahead and do the right thing at one level. I mean, it's been reported by local news that obviously of Sandusky, convicted now, raping children at high noon inside the showers in front of everyone, that this was a larger operation and that through the charity, he was pimping the kids out. I don't know if that's true, but I would say that's par for the course for people that run society. These are predators. They enjoy preying on other humans. They're not normal, and good people are blind to this because we just don't think like they do. But Free's report on Penn State handling of Jerry Sandusky child sex abuse reveals total disregard for victims and that they knew and helped cover the whole thing up. Are they getting ready to burn a bunch of the people at the university so that they're discredited and can't report what witnesses are saying that government people were involved? Again, this is par for the course with these perverts. These people are pure scum. Let's continue here. Madden's come out and said Sandusky, a state secret. Mark Madden, again, this is a flashback, said this back in April. Did Penn State's considerable influence helped get Sandusky off the hook? Well, Mark Madden, who wrote for the local paper, has certainly been proven right. It was also published in the Times of London. So, yes, it is a state secret, and now that has now been admitted by the former FBI director. So there you go. We're right again. Hey, obviously, if he's raping kids at high noon, 24/7 inside of the facility, I mean, this is a system-wide cover-up. We knew that months ago when this all first broke, that assistant coaches were going and reporting what they'd seen. They were told, hey, just keep your mouth shut, which is a allegory of how corruption works, whether it's GMO or wars or the police state. People have a vested interest on the surface of letting the corruption continue and just don't rock the boat. Well, civilizations are built by rocking the boat and doing the right thing. They're destroyed by not rocking the boat. That way leads destruction. So I think the motto of INFOWARS.com should be rocking the boat since 1995, because that's what we do. God, there's armies of sicko perverts, and now they run the TSA and drag your kids off to a private rape room. I mean, this is just land of the cowards, home of the slaves. And I don't say that because I hate America. I love this country. But we have become such a joke. We've got to admit just how sick things have gotten if we have any hope of ever turning this around. Okay. Oh, don't worry. There's an obesity vaccine out now that will change your feelings and will actually attack neurons in your brain. These aren't vaccines. These are nanotech viral re-engineers that give you a lobotomy. I mean, yeah, somebody in a coma isn't hungry either. I mean, folks, you might as well weigh 400 pounds and be happy than be a zombie. Scientists are advocating altering the mental states of humans to control their consumptive tendencies. Don't talk about the GMO or additives that are adding to all of this. No, just give them a shot. Last month, the UN World Health Organization announced that because of overpopulation and overconsumption cultures, Americans have become overweight. And that is a problem. Working for WHO, researchers with BMC Public Health have published a study regarding the increasing levels of fatness worldwide and the impact such weight gain has on global resources, because it could go to Prince Charles with 25 aircraft, 100 palaces. I mean, you know, that's the problem. Not because African kids are starving. They contend that overweight people are likened to an extra billion humans on the planet. So there you go. They got a vaccine that eats your brain, and you won't be hungry anymore. You won't have any passion anymore either. They got stuff for, you know, wanting to drink. Well, here's a shot. No more brain cells. Because all these drugs mimic normal endorphins in the body. And so what they want to do is block those up. And then when you're depressed, they've got a drug that'll handle that. Don't worry. They care about you. They're good people. Here's another one. Extending your life, extending your career, a vaccine for smokers. Another report dealing with all of that, and it goes in and attacks the neurons in the brain that receive that chemical nicotine. Of course, you probably don't want to lose those brain neurons, but hey, so what? It's good for you. Okay, let's move right along now to Agenda 21 micro apartment scheme being beta tested in New York City. Yeah, they passed a law last year, 2011, in Germany, saying that all new homes by 2020 could not be single parent. You've got to live in these big dormitories. And now Bloomberg, who wants to control what you eat and what you do and ban your guns, says these studios and one-bedroom apartments, they're like closets, will be no bigger than 275 to 300 square feet. That's called a tiny supermax cell. These tiny living spaces are smaller than currently allowed by building regulations. And they say this is good for the earth. See, they can raise more taxes. They'll charge you more for a 200 square foot cell than for 1,000 foot. This is how this works. More for less, the eugenics, Agenda 21, post-industrial slave model. Because your resources have all got to go to the bankers. Continuing here with the news, new CIA scanner rolled out by TSA can surveil your molecular level. And we've documented here how they have the quack garbage lie detectors that are frauds. Well, now the cops are going to aim some laser beam at you and claim that it shows you're aggressive or a terrorist or bad. This is their new system. And Kurt Nimmo reports on this new quack science at INFOWARS.com. Moving along, Pluto's moons, 5 satellites of Pluto. And they've been reporting that Pluto's moons have also been heating up because we didn't pay our carbon tax to Al Gore. On July 11th, astronomers announced the 5th moon had been discovered orbiting the dwarf planet. Researchers using NASA's Hubble Space Telescope found the moon. Some of its other moons are named Choron and things like that, the boatman of the river Styx, because after all, Pluto is the Roman god of the underworld. So if we're naming these with demonic names, name the next one Obama or Mitt Romney, or maybe name them Planet Rockefeller. In fact, you should talk to the different societies that are deciding this. And we've got Hydra and Choron and Nix. I guess it means kill, and P4. Why not name it Rockefeller? I mean, that's a good name for it. I mean, which means robber baron, gang raping the dead corpse of humanity. Rockefeller. Rockefeller. Bankers injecting children with cancer viruses. Rockefeller. I'm coining terms here, just teleprompter free. It's incredible. I need more Prozac. That's the problem. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we leave Choron to the Daily Quote. Bankers own the earth. Take it away from them, but leave them with the power to create credit, and they will flick a pen that will create enough money to buy it back again. If you want to be slaves of bankers and pay the cost of your own slavery, then let the bankers control money and control credit. Sir Joseph Stamp, director of the Bank of England, 1940. Sounds like you haven't had enough vaccines, Mr. Stamp. But again, you're dead now, aren't you? So you're beyond their grasp. We will now go to break, my friends, my pretties, and we will come back with Dr. Sherry Tenpenny and a journey into all that is vaccine kingdom, all that is Rockefeller, diseased robber baron mass murderers gone wild. I'm Alex Jones, and this is InfoWars Nightly News.
Have you been to InfoWarsShop.com lately? Express your inner patriot with these brand new InfoWars t-shirts. Say it loud with the InfoWars Bullhorn shirt, or educate the sheeple with the Bill of Rights shirt. Grope the public's mind with the TSA shirt. And with this shirt, you can let the dark side know of the Rebel Alliance's power.